Have you ever felt like your emotions are running the show, leaving you reacting rather than responding? Maybe a moment of anger cost you a friendship, or anxiety kept you from chasing an opportunity. We've all been there. But what if I told you that controlling your emotions isn't about suppressing them? It's about understanding them, channeling them, and using them as tools rather than obstacles. Today, we're going to dive deep into how to master your emotions, not by ignoring them, but by making them work for you. I will tell you exactly 5 steps how to control your emotion. Let's take a breath together, because that's where it starts, with awareness. 1. Understanding emotions. Think about the last time you were really upset. Maybe someone said something that stung, or you felt a wave of anxiety before a big presentation. That emotion? It's not the enemy. It's a messenger. Our emotions are our body's way of communicating with us, letting us know something needs attention. The problem isn't feeling emotions. It's when we let them take control instead of using them wisely. Science backs this up. Our brains have something called the amygdala, which processes emotions like fear and anger. When we feel threatened, whether physically or emotionally, the amygdala fires up, sometimes making us react impulsively. But here's the game changer. We also have the prefrontal cortex, the rational part of our brain. It's the part that helps us make thoughtful choices. The more we engage this part of the brain, the better we become at managing our emotional responses. Let's say you get a text that rubs you the wrong way. Your first instinct? Maybe you want to fire back with something snarky. But if you pause, even just for a few seconds, you give your prefrontal cortex a chance to catch up. That pause? That's emotional control in action. And it's something you can strengthen, like a muscle. 2. Techniques to control emotions. So how do we build this skill? Let's talk about a few simple but powerful techniques. 1. The power of the pause. One of the most effective tools is simply pausing before reacting. When you feel an intense emotion rising, try this. Take a slow, deep breath and ask yourself, what am I feeling and why? Naming the emotion, whether it's frustration, disappointment, or anxiety, gives you power over it. It shifts your brain from reacting to analyzing. 2. Reframing your perspective. The way we interpret situations directly affects how we feel. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you might think, that person is so inconsiderate, and feel angry. But what if you reframed it? What if they're rushing to the hospital? Or just having a bad day? Changing your perspective changes your emotional response. It's not about making excuses for people. It's about protecting your peace. 3. Mindfulness and emotional awareness. Mindfulness isn't just a buzzword, it's a superpower. When you practice being fully present, you become more aware of your emotions without being ruled by them. A simple way to start? Daily check-ins. Ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? The more you do this, the more in tune you become with your emotions, making it easier to control them when they surge unexpectedly. There was a time when I used to let stress consume me. One bad email could ruin my entire day. But when I started practicing mindfulness, just taking 5 minutes each morning to breathe and center myself, I noticed a shift. I wasn't just reacting anymore. I was choosing my responses. And that's the goal. Choice over impulse. 3. Emotions as tools. Host. Here's a mindset shift. Emotions aren't meant to be enemies. They're guides. Even so-called negative emotions have purpose. Anger can highlight injustice. Sadness can show us what truly matters. Anxiety can push us to prepare. Instead of suppressing these emotions, ask, what is this trying to tell me? If you're feeling anxious before a big decision, maybe it's a sign you need more information. If you're feeling frustrated with someone, maybe it's an opportunity to set boundaries. By shifting from frustration to curiosity, you transform your emotions from barriers into stepping stones. 4. Emotions in relationships. Host. One of the biggest tests of emotional control comes in our relationships. Whether it's family, friends, or colleagues, emotions play a huge role in how we interact. Here's how to navigate emotions in relationships effectively. 1. Active listening. Most of the time, when conflicts arise, it's because people want to feel heard. Instead of reacting immediately, try listening deeply. Repeat what the other person said in your own words to show understanding before responding. 2. Setting emotional boundaries. Not every emotion that others throw at you needs to be absorbed. If someone is projecting negativity onto you, recognize that their emotions are theirs to process. Setting boundaries can protect your emotional well-being. 3. Responding instead of reacting. If a loved one says something that hurts you, instead of snapping back, take a moment. Ask yourself, what do I really want to communicate? This simple shift can turn conflicts into constructive conversations. 5. Practical daily habits for emotional mastery. Host. Mastering emotions isn't a one-time achievement, it's a daily practice. Here are some habits you can incorporate to keep growing. 1. Journaling your emotions. Writing down what you're feeling helps you process emotions more clearly. When you see your thoughts on paper, it's easier to recognize patterns and triggers. Try ending each day by jotting down one emotional challenge you faced and how you handled it. 2. Developing healthy outlets. Suppressing emotions isn't healthy, but neither is letting them explode uncontrollably. Find a healthy release, whether it's exercise, music, art, or talking to a trusted friend. Physical activity, in particular, can help release built-up tension and clear your mind. 3. Practicing gratitude. When you focus on what's good in your life, your perspective shifts. Make it a habit to list 3 things you're grateful for each day. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on positivity, making it easier to manage difficult emotions. 4. Practicing self-compassion. Too often, we are our harshest critics. Learning to be kind to yourself, especially in moments of emotional difficulty, is crucial. Instead of thinking, I shouldn't feel this way, try, it's okay to feel this, and I will manage it. Treat yourself with the same patience you would offer a friend. 5 steps to control your emotions. Host. If you're looking for a structured way to gain control over your emotions, here are 5 essential steps. 1. Identify your triggers. What situations or people tend to spark strong emotional reactions in you? Awareness is the first step to control. 2. Label your emotions. When you feel a surge of emotion, take a moment to name it. Saying, I feel angry, or I feel anxious, helps reduce its intensity. 3. Pause and breathe. Give yourself space between the emotion and your reaction. Take slow, deep breaths to regain composure before responding. 4. Reframe the situation. Ask yourself, is there another way to look at this? Changing your perspective can help shift your emotional state. 5. Take constructive action. Channel your emotions into something productive. If you're angry, engage in physical activity. If you're anxious, make a plan to address your concerns. Host. The more you practice these techniques, the stronger your emotional intelligence becomes. Remember, emotions are a part of life, but they don't have to control your life. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments. What's one emotion you're working on mastering? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on personal growth. Let's build a life where emotions guide us, not control us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.